Hi everyone. It is June 28th, 2024. I'm making a video a little earlier today just so I can give some potential day trades. Um, so we can go right into it. Um, Today I exited Pan W. I exited at 343.11 for a profit of $2.61 for the one share. So as you can see, the market gapped up and it was really strong early on. Um, but Pan W which had some strength early on, but then it kind of just started to compress here when the market started making at 10 o'clock. Pan W did basically nothing, even went down a little bit when SPY was getting close to this all-time high. So I don't know, I saw this in my mind a little bit of weakness in Pan W from compared to yesterday. And this stock, I like the gap, and I still think it could potentially fill the gap over time. But I wanted to take gains on it just because it already ran up a lot yesterday, and it ran up a little bit this morning. So I thought it was a good time to take gains. So I took gains at 9:52 a.m. and yeah, basically just continued down. So that was a pretty decent exit on my part. Um, Okay, the next stock I want to go over is Costco, COST. Um, so today I exited this stock. I took the swing trade 2 days ago. I took it on. I took it on the 26th, and I went long at $857.98. Today at like 10:15, the market made a had a red key bar, and then it bounced back up with a bounce almost all the way back up with a green key bar. But Costco continued down, and so I wasn't super confident of this. I didn't want to hold this for too long as a swing trade, just because looking back at the D1 chart, I think it could potentially, I think I could potentially bounce back up and hit the and get through these resistance levels, and this was going to where I was going to take my gains. But yesterday it was down, and today it's not showing crazy strength. So I decided to exit out and kind of limit my exposure on the amount of trades I have on. So I so I exited. I exited at $854.47 for a loss of $3.51 for the share. Again, I would have held this if I was more confident in the D1 chart, um, but I just wasn't. This wasn't a this wasn't really a long term swing trade in general. This wasn't a very long term swing trade in general, so I I just felt more comfortable just taking a loss because I potentially thought it could have been a larger loss, and I would have held it for a way longer amount of time. So took a $3.51 loss for the share, which is a decent sized loss, but um, yeah, it wasn't the greatest trade on my part. I mean, I definitely could have picked a better D1 chart to lean on, and since I'm swing trading majority because of the PDT rule, so this chart is not the best of the best, and I really need to work on just choosing the best of the best and working on my entries and all that. So this is just an example of something that I messed up on and need to work on. Um, so I'm still in meta. I'm down, but that was a lot to do with yesterday. I entered pretty badly. I was not patient with my entering through the trade. I kind of rushed it, and so I entered like pretty close to the high of yesterday, and it kind of sold off a little bit, but kind of maintained its somewhat strength when the market was doing really. It kind of just followed the market the rest of the day. Today, it showed really strong strength earlier in the day, and then as the market started to sell off, Meta followed, and so it wasn't really showing any strength compared to the market today. But in general, on a swing term basis, I'm not too worried about the stock yet. If it gets below around this trend line, like gets closer to the high, like 513, 512 around, I'm gonna get a little more worried and potentially take a loss on it. Um, if I end up, this stock in general is just, I need to learn that to take better entries into stocks because I could have taken a nice gain today if I entered better yesterday. I mean, if I waited for support to form around here, right when it closed above this red key bar, I could have took a position around here and exited today when it started stalling, or got the SPY got to its all-time high and started stalling, and I would have taken a nice about probably like a maybe close to a $3 to $4 gain, which is pretty decent. So I'm writing that in my log. Just work on entries, wait for support to form, and there's no point of rushing in. Um, and today I was talking about in the video yesterday how BID uses my short. Today I went short on it at 10:42. So when the market started to show a little bit of weakness, I decided to go short the stock just to kind of balance my portfolio out a little bit more. Um, and Yeah, so I just wanted to balance my portfolio out a little more. Um, as you can see, I've been in the stock a couple times and exited, but it's just been super weak on the D1 basis, and it's I feel like a pretty good short to have to balance the portfolio out, and I think it will continue to go down because as the market's been going up, BIDU it went up a little bit, but it's been able to it's been showing relative weakness. It's been kind of compressing. Sellers are still here, and they're not allowing the stock to kind of just grind higher than it was. How the market was just able to get higher and higher very fast. BIDU did not. All right, moving forward. I can give some of my market analysis. So today we gapped up. So the market gapped up on news and continued to grind higher. Early in the day showed really strong strength. This green key bar here, and it got past the all-time high. So it formed a new all-time high. It got through 550.12, and it actually made an all-time high of 550.28. But there's very strong resistance up here, as you can see. Basically, right when it started to hit the all-time high, it started to stall and chop around, and then it was followed by some selling. It seems to have found support around the 547.50 level, 547.40 level. So I set an alert down here. If it breaks this, it's probably going to be followed by more selling. So I like, or I'll go over the D1 now. So overall, still neutral, and slightly bullish. It seems I wasn't expecting today to have an all-time high, but I knew it was still a possibility. I didn't think it was going to happen today, but possibly next week maybe. But the news really drove it higher. Um, so I'm still like neutral. It really hasn't moved too much. It's still kind of compressing between this range of like 41, like 42, 42.50 to like 40 or 550. It's not making giant moves. It's kind of staying in this range, and I think it'll continue to do that for at least next week, and for maybe even a little longer. A dip I still think is possible, especially after the potential buying climax today at the all-time high. We could see continued selling into today and into next week, but overall, I'm still neutral until I see either a dip through this low of the June 17th candle, or another another go at the all-time high at now 550.28. So today I expected to it's found support. I kind of expect to chop around for the rest of the day. Nothing. I don't think there's going to be any crazy moves back up to the all-time high. Potential breakdown, I think, there's still a potential for that, but I think it's probably going to go closer to VWAP and chop around for the remainder of the day. With that said, the picks for today, I gave BIDU. I still think this is a nice short. It's just been super weak. It's hasn't went with the market when it's when it's been going up today. It's been kind of compressing, I would say. It's not really moved too much. So definitely weak compared to the market. So I like BIDUs for a short. JPM would probably be my bullish pick for today. This dip that started around 10:15 and it's found support around 11:05. 10:15, JPM continued to go up, and it really hasn't had its own dip. I mean, it had a dip around 11, but it found support at around 201, and it's not really going that much anywhere right now, but it's not dropping. It hasn't dropped like SPY dropped, or like Meta dropped. So I like JPM as a long. If the market's able to find support and rally back up a little more above VWAP, I would continue. I would consider taking this as a day trade. But currently, I set in a LSRI and a HA reversal alert on the M5 basis, and it was triggered at around 11:20. So I took the trade around 11:20 for a swing trade though. I don't have any day trades left, but I like this stock. Similar reasons as Meta. It broke this high minus trend line, showed strength yesterday, showed strength today, and I think it will continue to do so. So I like JPM as a day trade and a swing trade. But yeah, it has just relative strength compared to the market. So overall, I'm in Meta, which hasn't been doing the best on the 5 minute right now, but I'm leaning on the D1 and expect it to continue higher. I'm in BIDU as a short and JPM as a long. So those are my picks, and those are the stocks I'm currently in. Thank you for watching.